welcome to the 2026 Formula One season. And if 2025 proved us anything, it is that Formula One waits for no one. Because last year, we crowned a new champion. Lando Norris stepped into his title era. Not just quick, composed. Talented, but decisive. And when the pressure peaked, he delivered. That's the difference between a contender and a champion. But the story wasn't just Lando. It was a total shift in power. And with that, McLaren became the benchmark. Smart development, sharp strategy, and calm executions. They didn't just win race weekends, they controlled race weekends. And going into 2026, they are the team that everyone is chasing. Now, of course, we have to talk about the response, because when you think of modern Formula One, you think of none other than the one and only Max Verstappen. 2025 was not a dominant year for Red Bull Racing, but Max still extracted everything from the car. Poles when they weren't expected, podiums from difficult grid slots. That's what elite drivers do. They maximize. So the big question for 2026 is this a McLaren era, or is this the comeback of Max Verstappen? But don't overlook the wider grid, because Ferrari showed flashes of brilliance, Mercedes quietly rebuilt momentum. The margins are tighter than they've been in years. During the pre-testings in Bahrain, we got a glimpse of what to expect for this Formula One season. We had Charles Leclerc setting the quickest lap time, showing his outright pace, Lando Norris being a top contender on the timesheets, and George Russell and Max Verstappen showing strong lap times amongst the usual other frontrunners. And let's not forget about our 7th world-time champion, Lewis Hamilton. After a tough debut in Ferrari and having no podiums in 2025, he admitted that he forgot who he was during that year. But for 2026, he's come back and he said that he is mentally and physically ready for the season. So from the pre-testings, we can understand that McLaren and Ferrari are your top contenders. Mercedes is quite consistent, and Red Bull, competitive yet cautious. Aston Martin, however, are currently trailing behind due to technical setbacks. But remember, this is pre-testing. They're not going to go all out. It's the season opener that sets the tone. Which brings us to the first race of the year. The season begins at the Australian Grand Prix at the Albert Park circuit. Melbourne is a statement circuit. Fast, flowing, deceptively technical. It looks forgiving, but it punishes the small mistakes. And for the first race of the year, mistakes are going to be everywhere. Cold tires, full fuel, new cars still being understood. And this year, it's bigger than ever. So make sure to watch this race weekend very closely, because Albert Park rewards track position. If McLaren locks out in the front row, that sends a message. But keep an eye out for Max Verstappen's straight line speed. If he's the strongest on Sunday, the comeback narrative is very real. For the first race of the season, strategies are going to be called out, sometimes bold, sometimes desperate. But the first race does not decide the championship. It sets the tone. If 2025 taught us anything, it's this. The grid is tighter, the confidence is higher, and dominance is no longer guaranteed. From the lights out to the checkered flag, this is Formula One flat out.